What's going on, guys? This is TowerNumber9, and today we have a new feature for the channel. I'm actually streaming myself drafting here. So this is first pack. My leader options are Jin, Urso, or Iden Versio. And right off the bat, so we're looking here, Super Laser Technician, pretty good. We have some Restored Arc is a nice early card. Um, you know, This isn't a super thrilling pack. I don't really have like a force thing to make this force throw reliable. You're My Only Hope isn't a great rare. I'm thinking my main choices here are between the Academy Defense Walker or the Super Laser Tech. The Academy Defense Walker locks me into Iden a bit, but maybe that's reasonable. I do think it's the best card of this group, so we're gonna draft the Academy Defense Walker, move it into my hidden zone here, flip that, shuffle it up. Group those, send those to the next player. We're zone drafting here, so this is my next pack. And let's see what we got. So this is a generic base. Those need to get just thrown into the center that you don't actually draft those. So then looking at this pack, okay, so right here we have, I think ATST might be my best option here. The problem is I'm feeling a little committed to Iden if I take that ATST. Um, I could also take the Waylay. Yeah, I could take the Waylay. I could take. See, I'm not actually a big fan of Chewy. Um, I don't think he's a great unit. Dodonna is a good card if I go Rebels, but otherwise isn't very good. I could take him for option value. So the Waylay is going to be good if I have yellow, but I don't want to force. If I build Iden, I don't want to force it into yellow. I think we're going to take the ATST. We are definitely a little early on the Imperial stuff here, so I'm not necessarily locked in. It's going to depend on what else we see. Okay, so in this pack, Spark of Rebellion, not a great rare. Vanguard Ace, really bad. Rogue Squadron Skirmisher is a quite good card if I end up with like a... So I could try to build like a yellow-green... I could try to build like a yellow-green Jin, in which case Rogue Squadron Skirmisher would be really good. Open Fire is really good. Syndicate Lackeys is really good in draft at least. Um, so I could take this. So I also have to think about what I'm receiving. So I've actually received a lot of yellow stuff on this side. I'm wondering if that means that Endless is not going yellow. Let's see. I think I could play the Snowtrooper Lieutenant here, which is just kind of a basic, nice trick. But I think what I want to take here is I probably want to take Open Fire the I'm going to take the Syndicate Lackeys here, which I think is a little more open than the Open Fire. Um, and we will see what happens with this pack. Okay, so again, I'm not seeing a lot of red. So that Open Fire would have been a really good pick, but because I'm not seeing a lot of red, I'm starting to think I'm also seeing this is a fair number of Imperial cards. I'm wondering if blue yellow item is going to be a good mark. If so, this Cartel Spacer would be a great inclusion. It's a good early game card, and it has some nice utility in the late game as well. Other options for blue yellow, I could pull out this Death Trooper, also a solid early card. Doesn't incredibly synergize with Iden's ability. Doesn't play on the first turn either. You do want to have some turn one plays. I'm gonna go for this Cartel Spacer. I'm still seeing a lot of yellow. Currently we're thinking yellow blue Iden is gonna be probably my kind of my main focus here. Um okay, so Jawa Scavenger really. So if I'm looking at yellows and blues, I have the Cargo Juggernaut. This is kind of a late game card. It's actually kind of tight. Um, but it's not amazing. It's really here kind of between the Cargo Juggernaut and the Cell Block Guard. Not a lot of yellow in this pack. Does make me wonder if that's going to be risky. Um, I think I already have some bigger units. The Cell Block Guard is kind of a mid-range unit, so we're gonna take that, and we're gonna see how this goes. Um, okay, this is not a thrilling pack at all. I am seeing a fair amount of yellow heroism, which does make me wonder. It does make me wonder if I should be thinking about pivoting to Jin. If I do pivot to Jin, I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of other stuff that supports that. So right now, the plan that sticks with my current draft is to take probably the ISB agent here. I think we will take the ISB agent. We're gonna stay on the plan. If I had gone the other way, I would probably take this Liberator gunship, which is a nice space unit with ambush there to counter some fighters. So we're gonna see if this goes well. Drawing another 8 cards. Okay, this time we're seeing a lot of yellow, but it is so there is more heroism yellow. System Patrol Craft and Cloud City Wingguard are my main options here. It's gonna be the System Patrol Craft because I need more space. Then we're gonna draw these cards. Um, looks like okay, so I could play Protector, which I would have to pay for 3. Actually, kind of nice card even at 3. Repaired, probably not a great option. Just healing 3 damage from a unit or base. Not terrible though. I think we're gonna pick up another System Patrol Craft. I like these to kind of oppose those small fighters. I'm also gonna try to reorganize my area here and get things laid out properly. So right now, in terms of the cost curve, we have things fairly spread out. I have ones and twos together here because I think of those both as being like early game plays. Um, we do have some overall decent stuff here, I think, and we are skewing towards playing Iden yellow. Um, okay, so this is a pack I already saw. Bunch of this stuff has come back around. This Java Scavenger is probably, so this is a bad card, but it's probably the most playable card that I have here, just because these other things are either out of aspect. I guess I could play out of aspect Precision Fire isn't insane. Out of aspect, yeah, we're gonna just take the Java just because it fits into the deck. I think there's a good chance I don't end up actually running that card. Like I could easily see that being cut overall. But we will see what happens here. All right, so then we have these 5. Okay, so here the question is between 2/1B Surgical Droid, so again kind of a bad card, versus Rugged Survivors, also kind of a bad card. I think Iden has an unusually high ability to survive as a leader on the board because she's shielded. So playing the Rugged Survivors and then deploying Iden on the next turn is maybe gonna work better. I don't like the 2/1B very much, so we're gonna play those Rugged Survivors. And as you may be able to tell, the card quality that you're getting towards these later packs in the draft is a lot lower. Um, Lots of yellow here. So again, yellow heroism though. So I am wondering whether it would have been a good idea to go for that Jin deck, but we're a little late. And to be fair, Vanguard Ace is a bad card. Spark of Rebellion is a very marginal card. I think we actually pick the Cantina Bouncer, even though it's out of aspect here. That could conceivably be worth it at 7. And the other cards are not really very playable. ISB. Okay, so ISB agent for sure. Lieutenant Charlton's a good card if your deck is full of blue, but it's not going to be that reliable in here. So ISB agent giving me another early unit with a nice ping effect. So one problem I have here is I do not actually have any events for these ISB agents. So I should definitely be thinking about getting some events that work with my deck, both to synergize with the ISB agents and just to get cards that I can play. Keep fighting, not really playable. Distant Patroller is weak but playable. When defeated, you may give a shield token to a vigilance unit. So we have, I think all the cards that I've drafted in this first pack are actually playable, but not all of them are very good. I am happy with the Academy Defense Walker and the ATST here. These are some solid larger units. In past drafts, I've sometimes suffered from those. We also have a fair few early game plays, but the problem is at least some of these early game plays are bad. Precision Fire. Okay, that's probably not going to make it into the deck. Conceivably it could, but doesn't seem likely to be played. However, these last few packs, you're often not getting anything of relevance. Okay, so we have a fair few. We have some solid stuff. I like the System Patrol Crafts and the Cell Block Guard. Those should be some good Sentinel options. I feel like I have some nice options to hold off early aggression, especially in conjunction with Aiden's ability. Um, so I'm thinking right now we're pretty committed to playing Aiden yellow. So that's gonna be, unless I see like insane cards for other stuff, that's pretty much what we're doing. Okay, so looking at this pack, yeah, let's look at this. So I have Regional Governor is my rare. That actually is a very playable rare normally. The problem is I don't actually know what cards my opponent is going to be playing. So it becomes much worse because I don't know. Um, yeah, so because I don't know what cards are in my opponent's deck, this is a lot worse in draft than in constructed. We have a better idea. Um, Yoda not playable in my colors. General Veers I could play. Other friendly Imperial units get +1/+1, but looking at my draft here, a lot of these cards are not Imperials, so that synergy isn't great. So now I also want to draft events. Maximum firepower, same issue. A lot of this stuff is not Imperial. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull Waylay here. That's a very playable event, and so that's some help for the ISB agents, and it's just a good effect to have in the deck. I feel okay with that. Not the best pack, not getting a super bomb or whatever, but a solid little card. Okay, so here I have some options. So I could play AT-AT Suppressor, which is like a super heavy unit. I could play a Child Sin's probably not very good. I could do Bounty Hunter Crew. This is actually pretty decent. You ambush in, you hopefully get some value, and you get an event back. Cartel Spacer is probably one of the better two drops that I could be playing, so that's actually a pretty reasonable option. Cargo Juggernaut, big whatever. So I could take the ATST. So I think the question is ATST or the Cartel Spacer. I think we take the ATST here, simply because I want to have a solid kind of high end set of units. The Bounty Hunter crew, I would feel better about if I had more events. I'm really low on events, and we're not going to get more events from this pack, not in my colors. Okay, so the question is, do I want to play Devotion? Attached unit gains Restore 2. Do we want to play? Well, we could do Moment of Peace. That is a playable event. Shield token to a unit. That's playable. It's cheap. The other question would be Crafty Smuggler, who's a quite decent starting unit here. 2 cost 2/2, very playable. Very playable, but I already have a lot of early game units. I don't want to get too many of those. I think I'm gonna pull. I think I'm gonna. Ah, man, this devotion though. It's really between devotion and moment of peace. I already have a lot of healing with Aiden's ability, and I have some sentinels. I don't think I need the devotion as much. We're gonna pull the moment of peace here, and we're gonna see how this continues. Okay, so here we have Protector comes around again. Oh man, this is actually a fire pack for me. So we have Viper Probe, good early unit, but probably not what I want to draft here. Protector, good attachment. I already have some Sentinels though. I don't think I necessarily need this. Waylay, very solid. Solid event. Just an annoying trick to have access to. Helps with the ISB agents. Death Trooper is a solid unit. Has a nice ability to has a nice ability there to get some damage on opposing units. If I had Krennic, I would probably take this Death Trooper. Entrenched attached unit can't attack bases. This is actually both an answer to big bombs and we're gonna take this entrenched. I think entrenched is a very solid card, but there were really a lot of things here that I would have been happy with drafting. All right, so now let's look at these. Pirated Starfighter. Okay, so that's decent. I do have some nice on play effects. So like the ISB agents and the cartel spacer. So then let's see. Yeah, Pirated Starfighter. So that could return the ISB agent or the cartel spacer, let me reuse those effects and get me a powerful unit. I don't have a ton of on play effects. I don't have any events, which I do want. Cloud City Wingguard is not very good. General Veers doesn't really fit with my deck. Tai LN is okay. Hmm. I could take Veers, but again, don't have that many Imperials. Okay, I think what we're gonna do here. Oops. I need more like mid-game types of cards here for sure. I think we're gonna take the Cloud City Wingguard. That fits better into the curve. Let's see what's next. Ooh, okay. Oh man. Oh, this is a killer pack. See, I get these packs that have like very marginal stuff, and then I get ones that have multiple cards I want. So Seventh Fleet Defender is a great space unit. 3 cost 3/2 with shielded. The problem is I also would really like this make an opening, which gives me some removal. I'm missing removal and I'm missing events. I really want this make an opening, but I also want the Seventh Fleet Defender. I think we're gonna take the make an opening just because the removal and events are a priority for me right now. What do we got next? Okay. Yellow. Okay, so we could play Repair. Repair is kind of okay. Jawa Scavenger is not good. Devotion is Devotion is not a terrible card, but this deck already has a fair amount of healing, and it already has a fair amount of defensive stuff against aggro with the Sentinels that I've been drafting, and with Aiden's innate ability. So the problem is the two best cards that I have in this pack, Repair and Devotion, are both healing cards. We're gonna take the Devotion here because it gives that stat. Are we gonna take the Devotion? So the Devotion gives that stat boost and it gives recurring healing. We're gonna take the Devotion because it does have the stats as well. That isn't really what I most want to see here. Let's see what I can. Let's see what I can draw. Lots of yellow this pack. Oh man, No Good to Me Dead. That's a really good card. So it's between No Good to Me Dead and Crafty Smuggler really here. Oh, I could also take Jeddah City. If I take Jeddah City, okay, none of this stuff is coming back to me, so I'm only gonna get one of these cards. Jeddah City here is a base. It would allow me to get that debuff. That could potentially be really useful. I have a lot of healing and sentinels, so I have some nice synergies. The problem is No Good to Be Dead is really good. I would like to have No Good to we're gonna take the base though. We're gonna try it. We're gonna grab Jeddah City. And now with that base up my sleeve, I'll have some extra little options. Okay, so here I don't think we really have an option in this pack other than Regional Governor because everything else is out of aspect. The Governor isn't great, but I could see a situation in the future where like using that Governor will allow me to potentially block a play, and 2 cost 1/4 isn't an unusable stat line. Okay, so then this one, so the Bounty Hunter crew is playable. Get an event back. Not terrible. The Cloud City Wingguard shores up the clan. The Cargo Juggernaut's a big. I don't really want the Cargo Juggernaut. I think we take the Wingguard here because we want to be shoring up that mid cost. The Cargo Juggernaut arguably a better card. Wow, okay. So two Rebel Pathfinders, a Vanguard Ace, and a so Vanguard Ace is very bad, but we will take the Devotion here. That's a very playable card. I still want more events though. I need some more events for those ISB agents. Okay, so my options are smuggling compartment. This is kind of okay. Protector. I don't need protector since I already have a lot of sentinels and it's going to cost 3. We're going to take the smuggling compartment and probably not run it. These cards are both not playable. Um, we'll take the Cantina Braggart. Oh, Rugged Survivors, that's totally playable. Okay, that was lucky. All right, so looking at how this draft is paying out, I also want to emphasize we're playing that you can look at your cards mid-draft. That's actually not allowed in a lot of draft formats. So like in Fab or in Magic the Gathering, above a certain level of enforcement, you're not allowed to look at your cards in the middle of the draft, but we are allowing it here. So this is kind of what I have. Let's think about this. So I have a leader and base combo pretty locked in. I'm happy about this Jeddah City. Um, the question now is what else do I need? I still want events. So I only have 3 events and I want more with those ISB agents. I really want some good control. I could use a little more of the mid-range, and if there are any really good opening cards, I do have some bad cards in my opening setup. Okay, so that goes here. Let's look at this pack. Restored Arc, not playable. Academy Training, not playable. Snow Trooper Lieutenant, not good because I don't have enough Imperials. Cell Block Guard, playable. Rogue Operative, not really playable. Rebel Pathfinder, not really playable. Academy Defense Walker, actually really good. Um, Asteroid Sanctuary, very playable event. Cartel Spacer, very playable early game unit. This is a tough pack. So the question for me is, do I take that Asteroid Sanctuary to give myself another event? Do I take the Academy Defense Walker to really shore up my high end? Or do I take the Cartel Spacer to get a better early game option? I could also play Cell Block Guard, get me another 3 drop that has a solid stat line, but I'm not really excited about Cell Block Guard compared to these others. I think we're going to go with man, it's tough. I don't really want to play this Jawa or this Distant Patroller very much. And you want to be at about 6 to 8 first turn plays. The other thing is that I really do need events. So the Academy Defense Walker also it's blue black. Are other people playing those colors? So we see a Krennic. There's another Iden. I don't know what they're actually playing. There's at least a chance that I won't see that coming back. The small stuff I might see coming back. I do that Asteroid Sanctuary is good though. We're gonna take the defense walker here and shore up that high end. I want to be I have kind of the stall with my healing and my sentinels, and I want to have a good late game with these big walkers to kind of bully my opponent. So now we're gonna draw up. Okay, so here we have a lot of stuff that I can't play. Repair is playable. I think I take the Crafty Smuggler here or the Mining Guild tie to give myself some. I think we take the Crafty Smuggler. That's going to give me another early game option. I do want to see more events though. I do want to see more events. If I don't get some more events, my ISB agent ends up being disappointing. Okay, this is not giving me events. It is giving me another ATST. So the question is ATST versus entrenched. I already have a lot of those like heavy walker type units. I have 4 of these here. I don't know that I need another ATST. Entrenched is like a very good card that synergizes both I can use it as a removal for an enemy like bomb unit in space, and I can also use it to buff some of my weaker units here. So we're gonna go with entrenched. Okay, so we're gonna look at this. I'm pretty sure I want both entrenched. I don't know about these devotions, the smuggling compartment, but what I'm on the lookout now for is events. None of these events are playable in my deck. My best option is probably to take another crafty smuggler or an ATST. Crafty smuggler or ATST. I am a little worried about not having any big space stuff at this point. But I don't know if that can easily be helped. I can always potentially entrench enemy units in space, so that does give me a bit of an out there. Crafty Smuggler or ATST. Okay, let's say Jawa's out of here, and this is oops, that's not kosher. Let's say Jawa's out of here, and these are but I still need events for these ISB agents to be any. I'm gonna take the Crafty Smuggler, because I'm worried now about not getting enough events for the ISB agents to be playable cards. Come on, events. No events. Not. This is not what I'm wanting to see in the later parts of this draft. I'm wondering if I should have prioritized those events more early on. I have a lot of non-unit cards, but I only have 3 events. Wish I had more in that area. Okay, this is actually a quite bad pack. Probably the best option of these cards is the Bounty Hunter crew, but again, it requires event synergy, so I think we take the Bounty Hunter crew and we really hope to draw some events. I'm second guessing my decision not to take that Asteroid Sanctuary or that Waylay earlier. I really wish I had cards like that right now. Oh man, this is what I want to see. So I can take either an Asteroid Sanctuary or a Make an Opening. Both of those are really solid for my deck. I think we're gonna take the Make an Opening here because it's removal, which I think is quite important to have. I'd rather have more removal than more disruption. But I'm very happy to see that Make an Opening in this pack. Okay, okay. So let's think about we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, so we are in position to have a deck of all playables. That's good to know. And the question now is what specific cards are going to make the cut? Oh, Bosk. That is a crazy. So again, requires event synergy, but Bosk is an awesome card to pull at this phase in a draft. I'm shocked that didn't go sooner. All right, so now I'm really just on the lookout for yellow, blue, or I guess maybe villainy events, but I really don't have the Imperial synergy for a maximum firepower. Main thing I'm worrying about with this event is I don't have with this deck is low number of events and not much of a mid curve. So some good like 3 or 4 cost cards or events would be what I'm most looking for. Let's see what we got here. Wow, Redemption is a bomb, but it's not in my colors at all. So I mean, I could play it for 10, but I think that's unreasonable. Um, okay, I think we play Repair. It's not great, but it is an event. It's in colors. So Repair makes the cut. So now we're up to 5 events. So we're looking at like probably running this as my we're looking at probably running this. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're good to go. So now oh, nice, a cartel spacer. That is a solid improvement of this that is a solid improvement of this early game. I'm actually feeling pretty tight about this early game configuration now. I think so the distant patroller will probably be cut. So now we're looking at this for the early game. So we have 2 each of several good cards, and then the governor. Hmm. Yeah, probably the governor over the patroller. Oops. So we're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this is my 30 right now. This isn't like the best deck that I've ever seen, but it seems solid to me. I have a fairly clear game plan in this draft of I have some early stuff I have a lot of sentinels. I have the healing from Iden. I can kind of stall the board early on. I have some upgrades to buff my early units if need be. So I have some removal and disruption, and then we're going to try to get to playing these 6 cost walkers and stuff to hit the opponent in the late game. That's kind of my game plan with this. Okay, so here the question is, do I want to take an Outer Rim Headhunter, which is a decent, not amazing 2 drop, or do I want to play another copy of Repair? So Repair is another event. I could use the Repair instead of the Devotion. It would give me another event for the ISBs. The Outer Rim Headhunter is an upgrade. It's arguably an upgrade over the governor. The exhaust ability on this guy is better with Iden than with some leaders because Iden's shield means you're more likely to get her into play. But I'm not thrilled about an Outer Rim Headhunter, though it is also another yellow unit, which gives me synergy with the cartel spacers. Um, so it's really the Outer Rim Headhunters or the repair. We could also do the mining tie, which has card draw, but I don't know that I really want that. Outer Rim. So what do we have now? Seven here. Oh, I might want to cut this Cantina Bouncer also. That's a good point. So if we cut the Cantina Bouncer, we're looking like this. Let's see. So five events enough? Do I want to go to six instead of this devotion? I think we probably take the. I think I think we take the Headhunter here. Repair is a decent card, but I already have a fair amount of healing. It doesn't really seem like the thing that I most want. Wow, a security complex okay, so Bounty Hunter Crew is probably the best card here, though I don't know that I'm actually going to play it. Um, okay, these are not really good cards. We'll take I guess we'll take this because it's a relevant hate draft. Kind of. It's an annoying trick for somebody else to have, maybe. I don't know why it was having some trouble. Neither of these cards is playable for me. We'll take the Consular Security Force because it is a better card for potential opponents, but doesn't seem that relevant. And then last card, Galactic Ambition, not playable. One of the worst cards in the game right now. Don't have a some payoff. I don't even have anything that costs more than it, so it's complete garbage. Okay, so then let's see how this goes. Okay, so the question is okay, I think so we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel good about this as my early drops. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I have to cut one card from this panoply to be at exact 30. So the question is, I have 8 cards here that are 2 drops. I could easily cut the Outer Rim Headhunter or the Regional Governor. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to the old hypergeometric calculator and we're going to see what my odds are of getting a population size 30, number of successes in population. Let's say that we cut one of these and we have 7 initial cards. What are our odds of hitting? So then we're at about an 83% chance of okay, so we would have like a 97% chance to get a 2 drop with Mulligan if we run 7 2 drops. That seems pretty reasonable, and it would give me more of that like scary high end. So I think we're gonna cut probably the Outer Rim Headhunter here. Oops. This is like a sideboard card, though. I could easily see myself playing it. This rest of the stuff is going to be the deck. My mid cost is a little empty, but hopefully the attachments that I have and the events and stuff will make up for it. Jeddah City will allow me to debuff an enemy unit at a key time, and it might end up being very useful. The downside of 25 HP is kind of mitigated by the fact that I have a lot of healing and sentinels, so I'm hoping this is going to be a solid build. Um, Iden Versio yellow. I don't feel that I have a huge number of like amazing bombs or whatever, but I feel like I have some solid plays and I have like I think a more clear game plan than some draft builds where I have like the early units have some potential buffs or for my units or debuffs for the opponent. And then can try to get into those 6 cost units and do a lot of damage at that phase of the game. We'll see whether or not it works out for me though. Should be a fun draft. So that was the segment where I was actually drafting the cards. And next, I am going to have some videos with the actual games of the draft, but we're gonna have those separately. So if you just wanted to see me drafting, that's cool. And if not, stay tuned for the next videos in this series where I'm gonna show the actual matches from this draft as they take place. So that's gonna do it for this initial phase, but stay tuned for those actual draft games if you're interested to come see how this deck will actually perform. And yeah, thanks to you all for watching, and we will be back later with some more Star Wars Unlimited content. I will catch you guys later.